Check, check.
Check, check.
Check, check. 1 2 1 2.
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 Check, check.
Check, check. 1 2 1 2. Check, check. 1 2 1 2.
Number 20, Sam O'Keefe. Number 27, Augie Freeman. At left wing, number 2, Kai Arnesberger. Number 7, number 19, Gavin Fay. And right wing, number 13, Spencer West. And we run the rest of the Nantucket squad. And now for the hometown St. John Paul Lions, starting up in the door, number 35, coming to Berlin. And defense, Curtis Weber. Also defense, number 16, Ben Baxter. At right wing, number 7, Gab Richards. The man in the middle of the center, number 2, Joe Manning. And at left wing, number 8, TJ Marr. And the rest of the line squad. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have the 35 and move it out to the 20-minute.
Welcome everybody for this Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week, live from the Hyannis Youth and Community Center. It is John Paul II versus Nantucket. Jim McCabe here with you on the play-by-play. We've got a doubleheader for Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week today. Our second one is going to be Barnstable at Nauset. That'll follow this one immediately as I head up to Charles Moore Arena in Orleans. But here it's a mid-Cape battle between a couple of Division III opponents, meeting for the second time this season. First game these two teams played was on Nantucket, and it was back on December 22nd, a 2-1 win for John Paul II. JP2 is the home team in this one, of course. They'll be wearing the white jerseys with the blue pants and the blue and yellow accents on the front and back of the shoulders and waists. Nantucket, the road team, they've got the N on the front of the jersey, the W for Whalers on the shoulders, and the plain white shoulder yokes and dark blue jerseys. I'll give you the one-time excuse, and that's it. Yours truly did not survive the winter without getting at least one cold, and so I apologize if I sound a little stuffy. I'm going to do my best for these two games, broadcasting this one today and the next one coming up in Orleans. Played along the far side in the John Paul zone. It is out the center where Alex Freeman had it for Nantucket, and he played it back, lets his defenseman chase it. That's Sam O'Keefe. Some forechecking pressure from John Paul II as the puck is in the Nantucket zone. The starting goalie for Nantucket is James Colkins. We'll tell you about the John Paul goalie here in just a moment, as the focus is here on the puck in the Nantucket zone. But the Whalers look to get it out pretty quickly. It's slipped ahead now for Gavin Fye. He tosses it into the middle. That is offside by a lot. And that'll stop things here. Starting goalie for John Paul II is Henry Klim. Shouldn't be a surprise as far as Klim. Don't have his numbers yet for this season. We've got one more John Paul broadcast. We'll try and get those before. But Klim has been very good for this John Paul II team. He had 5 shutouts, averaged over 20 saves per game last season, and had a 1.33 goals against average, and that was the best in John Paul II's varsity hockey history. Interestingly enough, he's had 3 shared shutouts, 3 combined shutouts this season with Gunnar Stevens, the other goaltender for John Paul II. This is icing on JP2. As far as Nantucket's goaltending is concerned, it's been a little bit of Colkins. It's been also a little bit of Ben Murphy in net. And Colkins' numbers look like this. He's got a 3 even goals against average and has given up 15 goals on 91 shots. He's played about twice as much as Murphy has. And Colkins' save percentage is .835. Whalers possessing the puck and now passed through the neutral zone too far for Austin Starr. Last time he was on the Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week, he had a hat trick against Mashpee Monomoy. That was exactly 1 week ago. Shot towards the John Paul net, but chopped down in front and slipped ahead by JP2. And now through the neutral zone, Jack Richards firing a shot, wrong number 7. Save was made by Colkins, and now it's a drop pass that works. The save made by Klim after the shot was taken by Jeffrey Domi. He got the drop pass from Jack Gammons. We've played 2 minutes and 32 seconds of this first period. Face off in the John Paul II zone. And it's played around to the near half wall. Now it rolls along. And a turnover. It's a Nantucket player getting shoved as he pursues it to the near corner. That's Gammons. You can hear Nantucket's coach and the rest of the bench saying, help him, help him. But not enough help given there. JP2 able to get it the other way, and now they'll initiate a forecheck. It goes along the near side boards. Crashing in is Sean Roycroft. And the puck jarred loose and goes behind the net, where it's controlled by the pivoting Charlie Baroni. Thrown out in front. It comes to the near side. Greeting it off the boards is Roycroft, but he turns it over, and Nantucket can generate an odd man rush if they hurry, but they've got players that are going back. Long distance wrister from Spencer West hits the end glass. And punching it to the far side was Roycroft. Skitters out in front and then down the ice into the Nantucket zone. And a last-minute decision to call this icing on JP2. So Nantucket's overall record is 2-5-1. In the Cape and Islands League, they are 2-1. JP2 is 8-3-1 overall. And in the Catholic Central, they are 1-1. Dump back into the Nantucket end. It'll go to the stick of Alex Freeman. He'll play it behind, and it'll be gotten out by Robbie Hickman. That pass connects into the middle, and now Nantucket does have a 2-on-1. Shot comes in. Klim makes the save, and then the rebound's cleared out of there. That shot taken just a moment ago by Ty Harnischfeger. Thanks so much for being with us on the Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week. The shot comes in, save, rebound, score! Shot came in from the point, and Spencer West put it in on the rebound. And Nantucket grabs the 1-0 lead. Missed who shot that from the point. I think it was Gavin Fry, or Fye rather. Gonna miss the assist here. That shot you just heard ring the post. That came from downtown by Nantucket's James Lester. 1-0 score on the goal by Spencer West, and the penalties coming up to Nantucket. Shot from the left point by the JP Duke player, and Nantucket skater touches it. And now we've got a interference call that'll be assessed here. And our first power play of the game. We got a little bit of an early start here today. It was originally 4 p.m. We dropped the puck about 7 minutes ago, so about 15, 20 minutes start ahead of time. Pass rocketed across, but tipped out of that, though. The Lions, as John Paul II is nicknamed, holding on to the puck the whole time there, and a shot from downtown by Curtis Weber. Not a shot on goal. He distributes to the near half wall for Joey Manning. Nantucket able to read that play nicely, and it's cleared down the ice by Marsh Hickman. Making the move and getting it out of his own zone, Jack Richards. But Nantucket defends the neutral zone well, and it's dumped back in halfway through the power play. Cleared out to the neutral zone. It'll be grabbed by Sam O'Keefe, who gets back to his own blue line before turning and firing it down the ice. That'll result in another at least 15 seconds going off, and now more, as Nantucket player down low was able to play it to an empty space. That was Jeffrey Dummy. And that whole sequence is going to take about 25 seconds total before John Paul is able to get it back into the offensive zone. It is played behind that, still power play time, not a lot. Went between the legs of DJ Mars, and coming in there on the pension was Sean Roycroft. And now it's Joey Manning, shot hitting the M boards. 15 seconds left on the power play, still lots of time. Here's Roycroft downtown. Blocker save made, and then the rebound is put in by Jack Richards. It's a power play goal. Culkins made the initial save with the blocker. And Richards cashes in. A couple of Nantucket players colliding. Culkins comes to his left to make a save on a wrister from Mike Kornek. Off the glass, now to center for Nantucket. And chasing this down in his own end is Mike Valerio. Valerio, a pass that goes behind a couple of teammates. It'll be grabbed by Robbie Hickman in the neutral zone, but then he's muscled off the puck. But then on the interchange, John Paul II can't bring the puck in onside. Spencer West scores his first goal of the season. The senior forward. Jack Richards has been one of the good players for John Paul II this season. He's got 7 goals and 5 assists coming into this one, so now make it 8 goals for Richards. A 2-on-2 for Nantucket in the offensive zone. A shot comes in from Gavin Fye. It's blocked. Under 7 minutes to go in this first period. The score is 1-1. You just heard us tell you about who scored the goals. Shanking the shot from the point was Hickman, but then one of those unintentional passes that went well to Harnischfeger in the slot. He couldn't do anything with it. Knocked along the side of the net by Gavin Fye. It goes around, and Robbie Hickman on the far half wall will be able to advance it. Now behind the net, Hickman slips it out in front. Score! Spencer West has got his second. On the great pass from Hickman. Nantucket, with 6.5 to go in the first period, grabs the lead back. Well, this Nantucket team wasn't happy with how it played against John Paul II the first time these two teams played. That was a 2-1 final for JP2, and here, with still time to go in the first period, the score is 2-1 in favor of Nantucket instead. It'll be spun into the John Paul II zone by James Lester. Lester missed the first 3 games of the season with a back injury for Nantucket. Played around the end boards of the Nantucket zone. And finding this is Austin Starr. Starr gets it out to the neutral zone. This connects to the stick of that man we just spoke of, Lester. Lester gets run off rudely by Ben Billings. But JP2 not quite done here. Starr lets it go back. And now it's returned to him by Robbie Hickman, who then blasted his man who was coming in on him. And that was Mike Valerio. Now cleared into the neutral zone and down into the Nantucket zone. It's a rolling puck that stops before it gets to the goal line. And Robbie Hickman will play it out to center ice for James Lester. Lester spots a man on the right wing. And that is Jack Gammons. Gammons behind the net. Comes to the near side, just throws it out in front. It will go to Sam O'Keefe. O'Keefe gets it down low, but then the man there, Jeffrey Dummy, not able to hold on. And it's Nantucket pumping in along the far side boards, where there's a turnover to John Paul II behind the net. But Nantucket trying to rectify that problem, trying to keep the puck on his stick is Ben Baxter. It's played to the near side, shot on goal by Dummy, and that one would not go. Now punched off the boards. Looks like it may have clipped one of the referee's skates, but a good effort to get back by Nantucket's 2 defensemen. Little catch there between O'Keefe and Rob Hickman. Now the other way, Dummy throws it out in front, nobody home. O'Keefe rescues this, and this one's going to go into the John Paul II bench. I want to tell you about our sponsors for this game. They include Cape Cod Healthcare and Cape Cod Healthcare's urgent care centers, ER-trained doctors, urgent care convenience in Hyannis, Sandwich, Falmouth, and Harwich. Get fast access to expert care for minor injuries, illness, or to x-ray suspected sprain or broken bone. No appointment necessary. Visit www.capecodhealth.org for more information. Cape Cod Healthcare, urgent healthcare. And also being brought to you by Island Gas in Nantucket. Locally owned and operated, Nantucket's propane solution. The Island Gas difference is about commitment to Nantucket and guaranteeing value to their customers. As the only locally owned and operated propane provider with 24/7 on-call service, Island Gas is committed to meeting your energy needs. Nantucket with the 2-1 lead here late in the first. Glove down on the near side by JP2's Jack Richards, thrown out in front. It's a quick pass into the slot to a man who gets spun around quite literally there, DJ Mars. Another shot comes in from a long distance. Colkins makes the save. The net's off, and players want to get to know each other just a little bit better. The song is There Will Be Peace When You Are Gone, but just a moment ago, a little less peace in the area of the Nantucket goal. 3.5 minutes remaining in the first period. Nantucket controls in its own zone. Robbie Hickman straight up the middle. Home run pass. Austin Starr. He scores. Austin Starr from all the way down the ice was there on the blue line. And Starr catches the JP2 defense napping a little bit to make it 3-1. Starr continues his goal-scoring ways. He's up to 6 now on the season. He's just behind Robbie Hickman in terms of goals scored. Whistle and a stoppage with 2:58 remaining in this first period. Starr from Hickman. And perhaps they set a secondary assist there. Nantucket was up 1-0. John Paul II tied the game at 1. And now 2 straight goals from Nantucket to reestablish the lead and then give themselves their first 2-goal lead of the game. Puck in the near corner of the John Paul II zone. Puck comes out into the middle. It is kept alive by Emma Clark. A couple of number 17s come together, and Sean Roycroft hitting Jeffrey Dummy, perhaps a little bit dangerously. That gets the attention of the referee, who is signaling that Nantucket will go back on the power play. Or Nantucket will get its first power play, I should say. This is their first. Yeah, it's a clean face-off win for the Whalers. Robbie Hickman got by one man, shoots it. That's in. Robbie Hickman let the power play goal just 7 seconds in. Nantucket has scored 4. And it is Hickman who made the move, slipped in just a little bit deeper, and wristed that one home. Well, it was Hickman who launched that pass as far as legally possible to give Austin Starr the breakaway for the 3rd Nantucket goal. And it is Hickman scoring this one. Hickman, I just mentioned, coming into this game with the goal-scoring lead, and now he is up to 8 goals on the season. Long-distance offering from Jack Richards, and that one would not go. It was stopped by Colkins, the Nantucket goalie. So coming into today's game for John Paul II, it was Joe Manning with 8 goals and Jack Richards with 7. Now those two are tied for the goal-scoring lead for JP2. And another player you have to watch out for, assuming he's in the lineup. I don't think called his name. Oh, here's a breakaway for Starr. Great save. And then rebound wouldn't go. Sorry about that. That was a great save for Klim. Needed that one to keep it at a 3-goal deficit, but what do we have now? We have a whistle. The net's off. I think that's all we have. Got to watch out for Ben Baxter, too, for JP2. 6 goals and 10 assists. Let's see, did we get that breakaway? That happened pretty quickly. The Nantucket player gets kicked out of the face-off. somehow I ask myself, don't want to toot my own horn here, but sometimes I wonder how I have the mental wherewithal to focus on a shot like that when all I'm doing is looking down and reading stats, but doing it by the grace of God. After that shot just a moment ago went out of play into the safety netting, this next face-off results in the Lions recontrolling, and it's a wrister from a long distance by Mike Hornak hitting the end boards. 4-1 the score. Nantucket leads with 90 seconds remaining in the first period. It's brought in. Wrister attempt by Hornak was fanned on. Nantucket looking for a quick clear. Won't get it. Instead, it'll be Colin Hatton with the shot, and Culkins makes the save. Back to action here. We're at the Kennedy rink, where just a few days ago you couldn't hear yourself think for the Barnstable against Falmouth game at the more convenient broadcast area of center ice. This time around, point to point, it's Hickman shoots it, and that may have been going wide, but Henry Klim puts out the glove and lets the puck go in it. Even strength hockey. Both teams have scored on their one power play that they've been given. With under a minute remaining in the first period, JP2 trying to get it out of their zone quickly. Now it's played around to the near side. Jeffrey Domi able to keep it in, and he connects it to a man who now tries to work on the cycle. Going to the near side, that was Jack Gammon, so it'll be played around the boards once again, where Cosmo Tedeschi tries to make something happen. It is back and cleared down the ice. No icing here. It was sent down by Ben Baxter, so there's a mention of his name. Quickly out to the neutral zone, and it will be Tedeschi. Up the wing, drops it. Stars shot, easily glanced away by Klim. And that's it for one period of play. It's Nantucket with a 4-1 lead over St. John Paul II High School here in this first half of a doubleheader for the Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week on a Wednesday. Take a break, and we'll come back with the second period for you here from the HYCC. Welcome back, everybody. The Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week continuing here live on YouTube. It is a 4-1 lead for Nantucket over St. John Paul II. Goals in that first period came from Nantucket's Spencer West. He had the first 2 goals. And Austin Starr and Robert Hickman. JP2's only goal coming from Jack Richards. Each team scoring on its only power play. And we are underway here for period number 2 at the Hyannis Youth Community Center. Reminder that I'll be headed right up Route 6, Charles Moore Arena in New Orleans, Barnstable at Nauset. And they must have, I assume, just doing this for me. Games originally only had a 2-hour difference between start times, but this one started a little bit early, and I think that's going to give me just enough time I need to get there on time. This one comes out in front, and Culkins glanced that one away. That shot from DJ Mars. Puck going behind the Nantucket net. And coming out with this is Jack Richards, the goal scorer. Give and go with Joey Manning. And then it's filtered on back for the blast by Curtis Weber. And that shot would not go. I believe it's Weber. I have done the one John Paul II game before, and I seem to remember that being the name pronunciation. Batted from in front of the net, and then going down was Alex Freeman. Concerned perhaps that the man in front there for JP2 Mars was going to do something, and now the other way, it's 2-on-1 for Nantucket. Pass doesn't go to Ty Harnischfeger, thanks to the man getting back for JP2 to disrupt that pass. And now the other way, firing one, was Jack Richards. And may have flubbed that a little bit, or Nantucket's stick may have gotten in there as well. The pass is behind the Nantucket player. It's a delayed offside. And now chasing this one down is Colin Hatton, but he can't get to it. Instead, it's Hickman for Nantucket. And a pass in the defensive zone goes to James Lester, who turns and starts up the wing. Lester, what's he going to do? He'll take it deep and try and get to that puck, but good defensive effort there by Colin Hatton, I beg your pardon, that was Mike Valerio. A little bit of a size differential there, but Valerio making up for it with the speed and tenacity. We played 2 minutes and 6 seconds of this second period as of the face-off that just took place. Now this puck goes down into the Nantucket end, and it'll be tracked down by Robbie Hickman, who's got a couple of JP2 players in his vicinity. He gets right through them, as well as the third, as he taps it on to Austin Starr, but too hot for Starr. He has to chase it down. He can't in time for the icing call. Off the face-off. Trying to get through here, Joey Manning. Manning gets it to him, is given that puck, and then returned it to the man to pass it to him, DJ Mars. Manning trying to get it back off the turnover, but it was forced out to center ice before JP2 sends it back in. It'll be Sam O'Keefe with it behind the net for Nantucket. He'll sweep it around to the near side, looking for Jack Emmons. It gets on through and goes down, and this is icing on Nantucket. Nantucket has been off since we last saw them on the Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week. They played last Wednesday. They've had a couple games that were postponed because of the weather over the last week. We were supposed to actually have them on Monday against Upper Cape Tech. That game got postponed, as did the game against Latin Academy. So 2 games that did not happen because of the weather. The game against Latin Academy, I think, trying to remember, that was on Saturday or Sunday. I think it was on Sunday. Monday, there was no precipitation falling, but it was very, very cold, single digits. Sunday, I think it was a little bit more of the winter storm that was still in the process of moving through the area. So Nantucket should have played 2 games since we last saw them, but as I say now, they've been off since that 6-2 drubbing of Mashpee Monomoy, thanks to the hat trick from Austin Starr. Nominally, thanks to the hat trick. Scored the second goal as an empty netter, and the third one soon after that. But certainly he helped pace them. Near side, dumped in by Ty Harnischfeger before he got checked. Now, Ben Baxter passes it for John Paul II, and it goes down into the Nantucket zone for icing, as we have played 4 minutes and 41 seconds of this second period. John Paul II's recent schedule looks like this. They are on a 2-game win streak. They beat Durfee here at home 7-0, and also at the HYCC beating Cardinal Spellman 4-1. Big check initiated by DJ Mars on James Lester. He'll be knocked out by the stick of Emmett Clark. He'll play it to his defensive partner Robbie Hickman. Off the stick of Austin Starr in the neutral zone, trying to force the issue was Marsh Hickman. But it's John Paul II repossessing, and the pass goes ahead for Joey Manning. Manning runs into trouble in the neutral zone in the form of Alex Freeman. This pass has to be chased down in his own zone by Mike Valerio, and off the far side glass, it's controlled by Robbie Hickman on the turnover. Left circle shot right at the top of the circle, and it's glanced away by Henry Klim, and it goes out of play. Face off in the John Paul II zone, won by the Lions, and scooting out the center with it is Colin Hatton. Hatton drops it for Baxter, returned it to Hatton. Baxter's better option there would have been to shoot, as it's a turnover, and it's Cosmo Tedeschi getting it deep for Nantucket. Helping out down low is Jack Gammons. Tedeschi looking for it in the corner. There's Gammons right there. He passes it back for Sam O'Keefe. He blasts one that misses the net. Retrieving this is Jeffrey Dobby, whistled across the front of the crease. And the Lions are able to get it out the center. It'll be Nantucket repossessing it as Dobby grabs it in his own zone. 8:45, now less than, remaining here in the second period. There's been no score here in the second. All 5 goals you see on the scoreboard came in the first. Dobby, long hair for Jeffrey Dobby. And it's played ahead. And Klim knocks it down in front of him and melts it down with Dobby charging in. JP2's last loss came to St. Joseph Prep. That was a 4-2 decision. And so they've won 4 of their last 5. Nice keep in initially there, and then it's continue to be controlled by the Whalers, even though they had to regroup out the center. Some moves being made here by Robbie Hickman. He falls. It goes back for a slap shot by Harnischfeger that misses, and the Karam goes all the way out the center, where it's controlled now into his own zone by Emmett Clark. He finds Rob Hickman, who can't do anything with that puck, and it's a brief turnover. Now it's a full-on turnover, as trying to drag this one-handed on the backhand. DJ Mars runs into Rob Hickman on the far half wall. A slip attempt to get it out in front for the Lions was controlled by Nantucket. Whalers don't clear, kept in at the near point by Mike Valerio. It goes back to Valerio. It skips off his stick. Nantucket almost had a 2-on-1 there or worse, but it dissipated. And now a hurl out the center, knocked down by a high stick. It matters not as JP2 controls. It's a 3-on-2. A slapper from Jack Richards. That is handled by Nantucket's goalie, James Calkins. Now with 7:09 remaining in this second period. Penalty coming up to JP2. Nantucket player getting tripped there was Marsh Hickman. Nantucket's second power play coming up right now, thanks to the tripping call assessed to Mike Kornek. It's a face-off win for Nantucket. It's Robbie Hickman. He's got pressure from Joey Manning, who's trying to turn on the speed here, but Hickman on the good back-checking effort neutralizes that, along with the back-checking effort of James Lester. Two players with the hard back-checking on the power play. A pass that goes through. Austin Starr has to chase it, and he chops it, and it works perfectly on the play to Ben Billings. Thrown out in front. Rob Hickman, what does he want to do with it? He'll just take it back, and he'll dish it to Austin Starr. Starr button hooks a little bit, and at the same time passes it to Hickman, who now takes over the forward position, with Starr going back on the point. It squirts back. It's Lester. Starr can't reach that pass to him. And Starr from the corner feeds it. A quick turn out in front attempt that would not work from Gavin Fye. All this seeing Nantucket keeping it in. Starr passes to a man in the skates. It bounces around, and Klim will put a stop to that with 51 seconds remaining on the power play. This game is being brought to you by Cape Cod Healthcare's Urgent Care Centers, ER-trained doctors, urgent care convenience in Hyannis, Sandwich, Falmouth, and Harwich. Visit www.capecodhealth.org for more information. Face-off win for Nantucket with still power play time remaining. Played along the near side. Hickman tried to get it to Starr. JP2, good penalty killing here as it's shoveled down the ice with 5.5 remaining in the second period and just a half minute remaining on the power play. Fye gives it to Lester, who's got plenty of space. Lester, wrister, didn't miss by much, going far side, stick side, but missing nonetheless, and it rolls back all the way down into the Nantucket zone. Perhaps one last rush possible on this, but look at the shark circling going on there for Nantucket around their own net as they finally start this breakout. It's Lester fighting this pass, staying on side. Lester holding on out in front. Starr was just budged off the puck a little bit. Now a player out of the penalty box for JP2 by Kornek almost was able to reach for it. Kornek still endeavoring for something here, but he'll get nothing anyway as Hickman gets it to Starr. Scores! Austin Starr off the post and in. That's the second of the game for Austin Starr. It's an even strength goal just after a little bit the power play ended for Nantucket. Things not looking good for JP2 at the current moment. A certain reversal of fortune from the last time these two teams played. So Starr and Hickman, top goal scorers for this Nantucket team, getting on the score sheet 3 times combined. A penalty coming up here. We'll have another power play here in just a moment. I believe this is a power play for JP2. Starr scores his 7th goal, so now Hickman with 8, Starr with 7. Indeed, this is a power play for JP2, penalized player for Nantucket, on a call I did not see. It's Gammons going to the box. The St. John Paul II Lions must find a way to stop the bleeding. Mr. Ben Baxter save made by Colkins. Just 6 seconds off the power play. It was an immediate face-off win and chance. Baxter down low, slamming the door on Mike Kornek was Colkins, and it's cleared. I mean, Kornek was on the back door there pretty quietly. And a quick move across. Now a disruption by Dami, and it goes back for a blast back down the ice from Alex Freeman. It'll be grabbed by Ben Baxter for JP2. He plays it ahead for Joey Manning. Manning bumped off by his number 2 counterpart, Ty Harnischfeger. Still in pursuit, and now running into trouble behind the net thanks to Sam O'Keefe. Was Manning. And we just saw a collision a second ago between Mike Kornek and Alex Freeman. Looked like Kornek got the worst of that. Now Freeman steals this in the middle, and it's a 2-on-1, maybe a 3-on-1. A poke check would not succeed. It's Harnischfeger. He's got a man going to the net, but he can't get it to him. Oh, eventually, though, it does bounce on to Klim. I didn't think there was any way that was getting into the slot. It was a good back-checking effort by 2 JP2 players. Initially, that looked like it could have been a 3-on-1, but then turned into a 2-on-2. I want to remind you, this game is also being brought to you by Island Gas in Nantucket. Call 508-228-2226 or visit islandgasnantucket.com. Call Island Gas today to learn about the Island Gas difference. No contracts, no fees, and the best service on Nantucket. With almost 100 years of combined propane service experience, Island Gas technicians provide the best service on island, available 24/7. Baxter able to glove this down, keep it in for JP2 with just 15 seconds left on the power play. Baxter is able to cycle it for Kornek. It's passed from the near half wall, out, a slap pass by Curtis Weber, and it's a turnover to his number 10 counterpart Hickman, but Rob Hickman now closed on by 2, making 3 JP2 players. There's a Nantucket teammate trying to help out. A backhander from just at the side of the net would not go. And now, what? JP2 players wondering if that's a goal. There was another chance from right and tight. The message appears to be no, this is not a goal. The net was off. So it stays 5-1. John Paul II stymied on that last power play. So now both teams are 1 for 2. On the face-off win for Nantucket, it's Ty Harnischfeger. Passing it ahead, Gavin Fye able to reach for this one and then stick check in the slot. But Nantucket had a little bit more to do there as Robbie Hickman on the far side was finally defended properly. The puck went out to the neutral zone, but it's the Whalers bringing it back in. Fye was well defended, and John Paul II cleared. And trying to do something here with it was Joey Manning. Puck wound up dribbling right to the crease before it was played away. Phi with the long stride for Nantucket. Phi strung on that puck, threw it out in front, spiked away. Oh, big collision on the near half wall. And then a little bit more than that. That was Spencer West and Mike Valerio. Valerio gave him a little shove, and nothing called there. There's a man out in front for JP2, but instead turning and firing it from the near side after coming out from behind the net was Sean Roycroft. Nothing happening there. We now have a half minute remaining in the second period. Is flipping it deep is Spencer West, who's got 2 goals in this one. And JP2 with the quick clear. It's Sam O'Keefe playing it back, and then getting rid of it in time is Alex Freeman. It is played into the JP2 zone. Off the train tracks there at the last second was Dami. He was avoiding the hit from Roycroft. And now just with 3 seconds left, JP2 with the puck possession in their zone before the buzzer sounds. 2 periods of play in the books. Nantucket gets 1 more to extend the lead to 5-1. It's a goal for Austin Starr, his second. Spencer West and Austin Starr both have 2 goals in this one. We'll take a break and come back with the third period here for you between Nantucket and John Paul II from the Hyannis Youth Community Center in just a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. The third period is underway at the Hyannis Youth Community Center between St. John Paul II High School and Nantucket High School. This Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week, live on YouTube. First of a two-game schedule that we have for you here on this Wednesday evening. Started technically afternoon. We'll finish in the evening. 5-1 the score. Nantucket leads John Paul II. Was Nantucket getting a 1-0 lead. JP2 responded in the first period to tie it at 1. And it's been 4 straight for Nantucket in response. First goal coming from Spencer West at the 10:31 mark. With 10:31 remaining, I should say, in the first period. Assists to Alex Freeman and Gavin Fye. This is a face-off win for JP2. A shot at the point blocked, and then Austin Starr, after blocking it, shoved his man down, and the puck sent the other way. Hickman from the neutral zone just blasted in. And trying to overtake his man here is Mike Kornek. Kornek still in pursuit, jammed to the near side in the Nantucket zone. And it's Rob Hickman playing it back. A couple JP2 players there on the forecheck out in front, but because of the number of players down low, nobody out in front to connect there for JP2. The other way, it's dumped in on the dump and changed by James Lester. Turnover in the neutral zone. Jeffrey Downey will just spin it in from the neutral zone off the end boards. And coming out in front before JP2 taking it and getting it out to center ice. A turnover at the Nantucket blue line. It's skated the other way by Sam O'Keefe. O'Keefe on the wing. He's well defended by Ben Baxter, but he's still able to get it in. Ben Baxter able to get that 5-hole through Gunnar Stevens, who is the new goalie for JP2, and that's not a goal that Gunnar Stevens will ever want to see again, I don't think. Stevens coming in relief for Henry Klim, who lasted 2 periods of play before being replaced. Probably be an unassisted goal. And indeed, it is an unassisted goal for Sam O'Keefe. To make it 6-1 Nantucket. This puck back for Matthew Nakata. Nothing happening there for JP2. They send it in from the neutral zone. 1 man in on the forecheck as other players are changing. Play up the near side. And Ty Harnischfeger overtaken. The puck goes back for Rob Hickman. Hickman blows a tire as he tries to spin back from pressure. And it's passed out in front. A backhander does not make its way to the net. But still, it's JP2 possessing. And this blast from the point didn't miss by much. It goes back to that player who just shot it a moment ago. That's Curtis Weber, who chopped it along. To the near side now, Joey Manning. Manning turns it over, but then fortuitously for JP2, that turnover recipient Spencer West, who was looking for the hat trick. He fell on his own accord. And now, not so innocently this time, West got knocked down. And I believe this is going to be a penalty to JP2, or is it actually on Nantucket? Oh, you know what they're going to do here? It's going to be the old call him for the trip, but also for the embellishment. I think that's what that is. DJ Mars getting penalized, as is Spencer West, who went down. And the referee deems that maybe he tried to sell that a little too much. So it's going to keep it 5-on-5. So West with that first goal to start things off in the first period on the assists from Freeman and Phi.
We have talked about number 13, Spencer West, 2-9 for home.
Jack Richards responded. I rushed down there to get the times and the assists, but I guess I didn't. I inadvertently missed the Jack Richards assist info and time of the goal. West's goal to make it 2 for Nantucket came with 6:71 remaining in the first. And assists on that one to Rob Hickman and Gavin Phi. Austin Starr's first goal assisted by Rob Hickman with 3:16 remaining in the first. And it was Hickman from Phi with 2:17 remaining in the first. In the second period, the add-on came from Austin Starr and Hickman assisting on that goal. So Hickman, by my count, and Phi both have 3 assists. Starr dumps it in from the neutral zone. Nantucket's made 6 goals with the goal from Sam O'Keefe here in this third period. O'Keefe scores his second goal of the season. Brought in by Ben Baxter. Tried to pass it into the middle, tipped off a Nantucket stick, and went to James Colkins, the Nantucket goalie, who puts a glove on it. Well, you look at, as we take a look at the difference between these two teams, I think there's a bit of a difference in terms of age. I think Nantucket's a little bit older than JP2. We continue to skate 5-on-5 with the 2 players that were penalized. Robbie Hickman can't get past the red line. It's Manning the other way for JP2. Then he's shouldered off the puck by Rob Hickman. Big check on the near half wall in the Nantucket zone. Coming together, Harnisch-Feger and Roycroft. And Roycroft finds himself, it seems like, in the middle of a few on-ice collisions. He just had another one with Harnisch-Feger in the neutral zone. Puck goes into the ceiling and they'll blow play dead. This blast from Sam O'Keefe downtown. Save is made by Stevens. With 7.5 remaining in this third period. Nice recovery there by Domi behind his own net. He lost his stick, got it back, picked it up, and then played the puck. As puck goes to Domi, speaking of which, as he gets it out to center ice, pass ahead for Cosmo Tedeschi. He's slowed down a little bit by the shoulder of Curtis Weber. This one goes down and it'll be melted down by Stevens. I want to tell you about our sponsors for this game while we have the second here, and this game's being brought to you by Cape Cod Healthcare, and Cape Cod Healthcare's urgent care centers, ER-trained doctors, urgent care convenience in Hyannis, Sandwich, Falmouth, and Harwich. Get fast access to expert care for minor injuries, illness, or to x-ray suspected sprain or broken bone. No appointment necessary. Visit www.capecodhealth.org for more information. Cape Cod Healthcare, urgent healthcare. And this game's also being brought to you by Island Gas in Nantucket, locally owned and operated. Nantucket's propane solution. Island Gas is committed to meeting your energy needs. 20 Arrowhead Drive. Reach them at 508-228-2226. You can visit them online at islandgasnantucket.com. We focus on the Nantucket net because we have a new goaltender in, and that is Bodie Corbett. Corbett in to fill in the last 6.5 minutes of this one. I'm going to guess there's a relation there between Corbett the goalie and Corbett the coach. Just a guess. We don't have any information on Corbett. I think this is his first action that he's seeing this season. Here you take a look at Nantucket head coach Scott Corbett. He's in his first year as the head varsity coach. Christopher Kent is the head coach for John Paul II. He is also in his first year. So Corbett in. And perhaps JP2 will take this as almost bulletin board material. Corbett makes a save on the shot that came in the slot. That one from Joey Manning. Per se bulletin board material. I'm sure JP2 doesn't like the idea that Nantucket's putting in a relief goalie and thinking they've got this one sealed away. So that might give them a little bit extra measure to try and do what they can do with the remaining time. Starr gets by his man. Starr out in front. He tried to pass that to James Lester, but that didn't connect. Both of these teams, really good back-checking effort today. Hand pass is called, and we get a whistle and a stoppage with 5:27 remaining in the third period. Well, Baxter, Manning, Richards, Weber, and Delman. Sam Delman. I haven't heard Sam Delman's name today. I wonder if he's out. Manning's a junior. Delman's a sophomore. Richards is a senior. Weber's a junior. And Baxter is a junior. Meanwhile, Hickman and Starr are both seniors, but it's been noted this season for JP2. You talk about a good line that's being a young one. Here's a score. Here's a score for Nantucket. That was a pass from Emmett Clark to Jeffrey Domi. Domi's on the score sheet. It's 7-1. Dami scores his second. Jeffrey Dami, the junior. Robbie Hickman picks up the secondary assist. So Hickman's now got himself 4 assists in this game. Robbie Hickman, once again, a force to be reckoned with. He has dished them out this afternoon and evening. Seven to 1 the score. First goal given up by Gunnar Stevens second one rather, given up by Gunnar Stevens in relief. 2 goals scored here in this period. Bodie Corbett in relief for Nantucket has stopped 1 shot so far. Puck out to neutral, and now down into the JP2 end. It's Sean Roycroft's shot neutralized by the stick of a Nantucket defender and out of play. But you talk about, it was one line that was noted as a really effective one for JP2 this season. That was Charlie Baroni, Mike Kornek, and Sam Delman. That's a freshman, and sophomore. Again, Delman with 6 goals, Kornek with 5, and Baroni with 1. So, I don't know, without doing the exact math, it does seem like this JP2 team is a young one, a little bit younger perhaps than Nantucket, and you might put this JP2 team in the category of not brighter days ahead, but certainly a team with a lot of promise. And this is a team that is coming off a very good season last season in the Division III tournament sectional. They ended with a 16-win season and lost to Ashland 5-3 in the first round. So making it to the postseason and certainly hoping to get back. But they're not going to come away with the win here today. Well, if the game ends with the score it is right now, or at least that John Paul II has held off the score sheet for the remaining minute and 50 seconds as I look at the clock. Game winner will go to Spencer West, who scored the first and second goal of this one. But let's see what happens here. It's flipped along the near side into the neutral zone and down into the Nantucket end. And it'll be possessed by Charlie Baroni, one of the players that we just talked about. Baroni had a few Nantucket players around him. It slips on out to the neutral zone, and it'll be Ben Baxter, rather, getting ahead before he got sandwiched as far as the Nantucket blue line before it's played the other way. Back out into the neutral zone. It's Alex Freeman turning and firing it. It goes into the possession of Baxter. Quickly ahead for Colin Hatton, who's dealt with in neutral ice. He'll play it back to Baxter. Across for Sean Roycroft. And from the neutral zone, Corbett will put a glove on this one. With 50.4 seconds remaining in this third period. JP2 is going to fall to 8-4-1. And for a team that scored 49 goals and 16 given up coming into this one today, this is an odd score for JP2 to be dealing with. On the flip side, big win for Nantucket, and they're now on a win streak here as Phi tries to make the move with under 20 seconds left. It's back. A little wrister from Emmett Clark was stopped, and we've got a whistle and a stoppage with 14.1 seconds left. Nantucket's going to improve to 3-5-1. Two-game win streak now for Nantucket. Nantucket's next game is going to be against Martha's Vineyard on Saturday. That'll be at noon. Well, it says starting time TBA, so I'm not sure if it'll be at noon actually, but it will be on Saturday. And as for John Paul II, their next game is going to be coming up on Saturday as well. They play Lowell Catholic here at the HYCC. That is scheduled for 7:40 p.m. The buzzer has sounded and this game is over. It's a 7-1 win for Nantucket over John Paul II. The game winner does indeed go to Spencer West, who had 2 goals in this one, as did Austin Starr, and what a night also for Rob Hickman, who had 4 assists. Other goals for Nantucket were scored by Hickman, who so then he had a 5-point night. I forgot about the goal he scored. Hickman with the goal and the assists as well. Jeffrey Dobbie getting on the scoreboard. Sam O'Keefe scoring. No particular order for the goal scorers there, but you heard them all for Nantucket. And for John Paul II, Jack Richards was the lone goal scorer in the first period. That's it for this Cape Cod High School Hockey Game of the Week from Hyannis Youth Community Center. Our next game is coming up here in just a little bit. It's going to be Barnstable at Nauset, live from the Charles Moore Arena in Orleans. We'll have that for you with the puck drop at 6 or as soon as I get there, whichever comes first. Thanks for watching and listening to this one, and so long for now.